everybody, the great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Safari product, and that is the Safari Ltd Zuul. So this one is again part of the Dino Dana collection, and this is also something that I got from Easter. And I'm super excited because this is one of the ones I've been anticipating to get ever since its reveal. I'm blown away by how cool this model is. It almost looks like it's not a Safari figure when you hold it, but then again, it is at the same time. So that's like really cool. I love this figure so much. So a little thing about Zuul, I know it's kind of an interesting name for an ankylosaur or a dinosaur in general, but this guy is named after I believe the demon dogs from Ghostbusters. I think when they found the skull of this dinosaur, it kind of reminded scientists of those dogs from Ghostbusters, hence why they named this dinosaur Zuul. So really cool name for a dinosaur. I think it works perfectly, even though I don't necessarily see how the head of this guy looks like one of those dogs. That's just me. I don't see how it looks like that at all, but it is a cool name overall. So again, this also is a figure part of the Dino Dana collection. So this was a dinosaur that appeared in the Dino Dana movie, not in the show, but in the movie. And this guy looks just like the one in the movie. So I'll go ahead and show a picture of the Dino Dana Zuul. So yeah, as you can see, it looks just like it. Super cool to have a new ankylosaur in my collection anyways. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. This one is a smaller figure, but so much detail is packed into the small figure. Don't let size, fool you. These smaller figures from Safari, they always apply so much detail with their figures. It's awesome. So just kind of briefly taking a look at this thing. This thing looks awesome. I absolutely love it. This is probably my favorite ankylosaur from Safari, with their ankylosaurs coming in at a very close second. I just love the way this thing looks. I love the sculpt. I love the colors. I love the pose. I guess you could say that with Dino Dana. This is a favorite ankylosaur of mine from the Dino Dana movie anyways. But in terms of Safari, this is one of their best, in my opinion. So taking a look at the head here, the head is nicely sculpted, as you can see. Cute little happy face going on right there. But it is a classic like ankylosaur face, like that wide, happy looking smile it has on it. Really cool. Everything is sculpted very nicely. I love the rough texture and the bumps up here. You can see these are where the nostrils would be, but they are not painted. But I guess if you hold them in the light enough, they are shaded in, so it does look like there are nostrils there. Here on the underside is nicely, sculpted. Not a lot of pebble scales, but there is a lot of some nice lined and rough texture on the underside, which looks really cool. And this one is also a 2021 figure, so this one goes along with the Nanotyrannus. So very nicely sculpted on the underside here. And then moving on, basically throughout the entire top half of the dinosaur, it is just filled with lots of awesome scales that are on the armored part of this dinosaur, which looks really cool. The amount of detail on this thing is just amazing. I love this thing so much. This is really cool. Safari, you did a great job with this. And then the spikes here that are unique to this species are all looking really nice as well. I just love the way they're applied. The way they're applied just looks really cool to me, and the way that they're sometimes shaded depending on where you face the light just looks really cool. I love the huge row of these spikes along the tail. That would literally do some damage if you just slammed your body into the leg of a predator. Almost feel bad for that. And then here's the club, the tail club here, looking really nice and heavy duty. That will pack a punch as well. But yeah, a lot of nice sculpt work here. And I love how in this half it's a lot more flatter in terms of the scales, but then towards the back they start to pop up more, so you can kind of feel how rough and bumpy it is, which is really cool. And you got the larger bumps here that go from the head throughout this part of the body, and they kind of turn into these smaller bumps. And it kind of stops here, then there isn't any along the tail. And here on the body, you get another row of some bumps right here, and a bunch more bumps on the arms and the legs, which look really cool. The arms and the legs look really nice as well. Fairly accurate in my opinion, if you ask me. And I love how wide they made this ankylosaur, like just a wide tank, which is very accurate to real life ankylosaurs. So that's a huge plus right there. Now, I don't have anything against the Jurassic Park ankylosaurs. Those ones are awesome just in Jurassic Park standards, but in terms of scientific accuracy, these are what ankylosaurs really look like. So that's really cool. And now, I know on mine, these side spikes did get warped for some reason. I'm not sure if it was from packaging or whatever, but they are kind of stuck laying against the body a little bit. But I'm not too disappointed because, you know, you're not going to get an animal that has perfect spikes or perfect antlers in real life. Yes, you do every once in a while, but sometimes you're going to get some that are just warped or curved in a different way, which gives them kind of a unique look. So this Zuul right here definitely has a unique look with these bent down spikes. So I like it no matter what. So really cool there. The tail is made out of like a flexible material, whatever Safari makes their figures out of. So this one is a bit flexible. And I will say the feeling of this figure feels less like a Safari figure. And in terms of material, it does feel like a Schleich figure. If any of you know what that means, but if you hold like a Schleich figure, at least some of the more newer ones, they have like that smoother, I guess, rubbery texture. I can't really explain it, but it feels very smooth when you rub your nail against it and all that. But it feels like less of that hard and rough texture that Safari usually gives us, but more of a Schleich material, which I like. It's pretty cool, but I just think it's really cool. I think I had to bring that up because I found that very interesting. But overall, an awesome figure. I'm super happy with this one. The colors are great. They match the one from the Dino Dana movie very well. Majority of the figure is like this dark green color with a lighter yellowish green on the underside. It's more yellow in person than on camera. And then we get like this yellowish brown burnt color that is used for basically all the spikes and all of the keratin places on the face, like these two bumps and around the nostril and the beak itself, or at least some part of the beak. You can still see the beak sculpted right there. And then around the eyes as well. So maybe it's not just for anything that's covered in keratin, but mainly all spikes. And then you got the tail club that's also like that too. And even the nails are all painted in that same color. So overall, very cool, very nicely painted. Super happy to have this one. So we're going to do some comparisons with the other ankylosaurs that Safari has made. And they don't make a whole lot. I think there were only 2 others they made, which are the ones that I brought. So I'm not sure if they made any more. Do correct me if they did. I don't think so. But first off, here's the Sauropelta, which is a favorite ankylosaur of mine as well. Even though this one's more on like the nodosaur side of things, and this one's more ankylosaur, but overall still same family tree and all that. This one's obviously famous for the huge shoulder spikes right here, which will definitely pack a punch of any attacking predator on that. And the sculpt work on this one feels really nice. This one feels like a normal Safari figure, but this one has like that more smoother texture. I love it. I love the way this one feels. It's almost like if this is not even a Safari figure. That's what it feels like. But when you look at it and you look on the other side, it is a Safari figure. So really cool. And here's the Sauropelta. They are roughly the same size. Just roughly. The Sauropelta is a bit longer, but they are roughly the same size. And then we'll also compare, since there's only very few here, the ankylosaur. So this one's the most famous of them all, of all the ankylosaurs. And it's really cool. Definitely dwarfs both of these. which is really cool. I really dig this Safari Ankylosaurus, probably the most accurate Ankylosaurus model I have in my collection, and definitely one of the best. And as you can see, this one does feel like a Safari figure as well. Plus, this one's covered in scales. I usually associate that with Safari a lot. This one is not in a lot of ways, covered in a lot of scales, but that's not a bad thing or anything. I'm just kind of making little comparisons here. So really cool to have these three Ankylosaurs. I really hope they make more. There are plenty more species out there that they can make, and I'm super excited to see where Safari takes these in the future. So that will be it for this review, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Safari Ltd Zuul. And yeah, highly recommend it, much like the other figures that I've reviewed. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I give this guy a 10 out of 10, as usual. And I'll see you guys again for the next review.